second half against Down, and he just brought a sort of air of calm to the whole proceedings when it was getting a bit frantic. Cork were trying to claw back the lead that Down had, and he seemed to settle the whole team. So he is a leader, and he's somebody that they look to, and of course obviously if he's able to subdue Donaghy, it would be a big thing today. And you know, he has to give a lot of inches away, and he has to give a lot of weight away, but he is the sort of person, he won't give in.
Let's talk about the Kerry team, Pat. There's one player that you want to pick out here. That's Darren O'Sullivan. The interesting thing about Kerry, you have the Goochers and you have the Kieran Donaghys. Darren O'Sullivan, for me, is one of those players who's grown into the Kerry team over the last couple of years.
Yeah, Darren was captain in 2009, and he was only a bit player, really. And even in 2009, 2008, he was a bit of a one-trick pony. He got the ball head down, and he had a tremendous burst. And if he got past the guy, great. But if he didn't get past the guy, he was in trouble, you know. But they moved him to centre-half forward this year, and he has really developed and improved as a footballer. I think he's by far the most improved footballer in Kerry this year. And I think he was one of the reasons why Kerry had such a great league. He's great vision. He's now scoring regularly. He's bringing the players into it. And if he's been playing centre forward in all the league matches, and he was playing centre forward in the last two championship matches, expect him to be playing centre forward, not in the wing today. He's a really underrated player.
OK, well, as we've been saying, lads, we're really looking forward to this match. We hope it's going to be a good day. We wish referee Dave Coldrick the best of luck on this one, because you've been writing today a column in the paper about refereeing, and we've been touching on this topic and the number of yellow cards, and this is something that you're concerned about.
Well, I think there was over 90 in the qualifiers and the provincial semi-finals last weekend. And if somebody said there's that many yellow cards, everybody would think there must be anarchy in the game. And yet, almost every game that we watch Sunday after Sunday are played in a most sporting manner. There's only about 2 or 3 bad incidents that I've seen all year. I don't think there's any need for the amount of yellow cards that are being given out. This thing about giving a card maybe after a fella has had 2 frees, given against him and saying it's for persistent fouling. This is all sort of rubbish. If fellas can't go hell for leather for the ball, if they can't do that without the fear of getting a yellow card, then it's a poor game. And the other thing about it too is, you know, people on a yellow card, it's nearly forcing the manager's hand in a way. Will we take him off now, we'll leave him on? You know, there's no need to give a second yellow. You know, you were making the point earlier, Michael, there's no need to give a second yellow just for another free.
But but the worry I have is that they're trying to make Gaelic football a non-contact sport, which is not. That's the worry I have.
All right. As you can see, lads, they're about to get into the parade. And some famous faces in the crowd. We saw Ultron coming, Lucas Scale, Christy Cooney earlier on. Miko, of course, is there, cheering on. He's native Kerry. Pat, will Kerry do this today?
Lots of ifs and buts. We need to break close to even midfield. Kerry half-hours need to stop the Cork half-backs from driving forward. That's the strong point in this Cork team is when they counter-attack at speed from the half-back line. So Kerry, to stop the Cork half-back line from coming forward, get a 50-50 break around the middle of the field. I'm going to this occasion, Michael, I'm letting my hat maybe perhaps rule my head. And I'm going for Kerry's forwards to hopefully see us through in what's hopefully going to be a titanic struggle.
All right, fair enough. Colin?
Well, I think it'll be a match of very high quality, because there is most of the very best players in the country are on one side or the other. And you know, people say form goes out the window in games like this. I don't agree with that. I think form is the key to these games, and I think that since last year, Kerry are probably a bit better than last year, and I think Cork are a lot better. And you know, I think Cork will dominate possession, and particularly in the last 20 minutes of the game, they seem to be able to put a stranglehold on teams. You know, I have backed Cork to win the game, so I suppose that's indicating very clearly I think Cork are the superior team at this stage.
OK, that's the scene in Killarney then, so let's head back to the commentary box to Marty Morrissey and Martin Carney.
Come to Fitzgerald Stadium, a capacity crowd of over 43,000, all roads leading to the Kingdom absolutely jammed from about 10 o'clock this morning, and indeed coming across on the Tarbert-Killimer ferry as well this morning, cars were queuing for quite a while as they anticipated this Cork-Kerry match to be something a little bit different. When you ask anybody that loves Gaelic football who might win the All-Ireland, I think they mention Cork and Kerry top of the list. And interestingly, Kerry haven't lost a championship match here in Fitzgerald Stadium, here in Killarney, for the last 22 occasions. That's even better than Mick O'Dwyer's. The maximum number of unbeaten games in Killarney for the Mick O'Dwyer era was 12, but this particular group of players, 22 championship games unbeaten. And of course, as we mentioned in the scene set, 4 out of the last 6 clashes have ended in a draw. And there is a general anticipation by everybody here that this could well result in stalemate after 70 minutes. We look forward to an intriguing contest. Paul Galvin is there amongst the substitutes, as we mentioned earlier. He did his warm-up, has a hamstring difficulty, but interestingly no strap on the legs, which would suggest that Paul Galvin, as Jack O'Connor mentioned yesterday on RT Radio 1 on Saturday Sport, that Paul Galvin, if they're in trouble, might be introduced. No confirmation here, but certainly he's there. The Star is fully determined to make sure that Jack O'Connor and Gerald Keefe and the management team, the plans have been laid. There is a general anticipation that Cork will win the midfield battle, but if the supply can be given to the Kerry forwards, I think Martin Kearney would agree that Kerry have possibly the best 6 forwards, a collection of 6 forwards of sheer quality if they get quantity ball.
Well, that if is a small word with a big meaning, because Anthony Maher and Brian Sheehan haven't convinced the Kerry following yet that they have the quality to get ball into that forward line. But there is no doubt about it that Kieran Donaghy and Colm Cooper beside them have wonderful quality and a great ability to play off each other. On top of that, Declan O'Sullivan, Darren O'Sullivan and Donegal Walsh in the half forward line will hoover up a lot of ball there, will be very creative in feeding their inside line and will play with great intensity. But overall, I believe myself, Marty, that the midfield area of Cork's Alan O'Connor and Aidan Walsh will gain a slight advantage out in that area.
Do you anticipate Kieran Donaghy being moved out from full forward to midfield?
Well, that's one of the beauties about Kerry at the moment. They have quite a number of options open to them, and one of them is actually Donaghy going out the midfield, Declan O'Sullivan to the edge of the square. He's been very effective there on a number of occasions, and that might throw Graham Canty a little bit, and Brian Sheehan maybe going into centre half forward perhaps, because Sheehan is a very good forward. Remember that, like an outstanding place kicker as well.
Well, anybody who had any doubts about the value of the provincial championship, well, they can see the pictures here in Fitzgerald Stadium. Tickets at a premium, every seat taken up. And if you say that the Munster Championship isn't important, that there should be an open draw, well, then a lot of people who might be suggesting that, and there's value in that, may I add, they have their answer here, because Cork and Kerry in Killarney is different.
Very much so. You have a raucous atmosphere, you have wonderful colour, the venue is absolutely throbbing, and the backdrop is just picture postcard. It's a wonderful occasion, great night in Killarney last night, wonderful crowds around it, and everybody anticipating a tremendous game of Gaelic football here today.
And perhaps this is an omen or not, but we congratulate Tipperary minor footballers. They defeated Cork in the curtain raiser here. Tipperary 3-11, Cork 1 goal and 9. Cork won the toss. They're going to be playing from right to left, which means there's a swirling breeze here in Fitzgerald Stadium. Over the public address, it's now just being announced that there's going to be a minute's silence. First of all for Jimmy Coffey, former treasurer of the Kerry County Board, and also for Sean White, who played Kerry Minors back in 1982 and of course made a huge career in the AFL. And of course, as well as that, he was part of our commentary team here on RTE when we visited Australia and Melbourne and Perth for the International Rules Series. So a minute's silence here in Fitzgerald Stadium for the late Jimmy Coffey and Sean White.
Sean White, who played in the 1982 All-Ireland Munster final for Kerry before becoming a successful AFL player with the Melbourne Demons. May they rest in peace. Shasig Initiative.
And now here in Fitzgerald Stadium, the Army Band will play our national anthem, Ará na Bhíon. speak to. The Munster football final, when it involves Kerry and Cork, is unique. And all the predictions, all the things you think will happen, don't usually happen. But the man in charge will have to make consistent decisions, because of course referees have been very much scrutinised in recent weeks. And this is David Coldrick's second Munster football final. Cork playing from right to left, and we look forward as the clock just goes past 2 o'clock for the Munster football final to start.
Yes, and already Declan O'Sullivan, as anticipated, has gone into full forward. Brian Sheehan in the centre half forward, and Kieran Donaghy surprisingly midfield from the outset.
Tactical games already being played. Kieran Donaghy, a lot of people in the kingdom feel he should be at midfield in the absence of David Moran and of course the retired Dara O'Shea. There is Declan O'Sullivan. Graham Canty is going to be marking him over the next 70 minutes or so. Any breeze will be favouring Cork in the opening 35 minutes. The Mangleton Mountain in the distance. McGillicuddy Reeks to our right. One of the most beautiful arenas in the GA world. It's Fitzgerald Stadium, Killarney, the venue for the battle of the champions of Ireland. Centre half forward, Paddy Kelly lays it off. Jamie O'Sullivan is available. Graham Canty staying back, keeping an eye on Declan O'Sullivan. Good work by a Cork defence that might well be tested this afternoon. Shane Enright gets it out for his Donaghy. Aidan O'Mahony. Donncha Walsh. Backfires the star. Pumping it into the space for the former All-Ireland captain Darren O'Sullivan to run onto. This is Kieran O'Leary. Over this side is the star. Going forward from midfield. In a little bit of space, thought about taking a shot, lays it off to the Kerry captain. Here is the Gooch, misjudges this one slightly, and it's well wide. But already the presence of Kieran Donaghy in the middle of the field is something to really be focused on. And from the kick out, may I say that Kieran Donaghy actually went in full forward momentarily.
Well, keep confusing the Cork team, keep asking questions of them. I suppose that's what they're trying to do, what Jack O'Connor's trying to do at the moment.
Pierce O'Neill is involved, so too is Alan O'Connor. This is Kenturk's Aidan Walsh. That's a good ball over for his Donncha O'Connor. Got away from Mark O'Shea momentarily. Good ball inside, punched away. Here's a chance, oh, brilliant save by Brendan Keeley off the boot of Paul Kerrigan. It's a wonderful start for the Kerry keeper, who has his critics. That will do his confidence the world of good. What about this, where a defence-splitting move? Here was Kerrigan, and Keeley hardly saw it because he was blocked by a defender in front of him. So the Kerry custodian did really well here.
Yeah, Tom O'Sullivan that time panicked a little bit, but the reflex save was just magnificent from Keeley.
John Miskela won an All-Star at wing-back. Lays it off for his Aidan Walsh. Last year's All-Star midfielder. Nobody can reach it in time. Wide ball for the Rebels.
Yes, there's one other change that's worth noting actually, is that Owen Brosnan has gone right half back at the moment, and Killian Young is playing centre back. And then just again, whatever happened, Tom Sullivan that time lost his bearings, but Keeley came to the rescue, and that'll give him some confidence.
Kerry Minor, goalkeeper in 2003. His critics would doubt about his ability under a high ball, but that was a superb stop. Have to give full credit to the Kerry number one. Aidan Walsh looking around, has to go back for his Miskela. Over this side if he needs him. Was Tori Kassan, goes the opposite direction. Kieran Sheehan, ball into space. Donncha O'Connor, gone away again from Mark O'Shea. Nice turn inside. It's O'Connor. O'Shea is chasing. Still O'Connor goes to ground. David Coldrick bends over and he gives a free out. Coldrick was very good there, the referee. He was right beside the play. Full credit to the man in charge. Cork keep the pressure on. Rattling the Kerry cage in the early stages. There's a sliding tackle in there. That should be a free to the green and gold. Ball is quickly taken. Look for Declan O'Sullivan. He started at the edge of the square. We anticipated that might happen. Now he's back out at centre half forward with John Miskela chasing after. Still O'Sullivan, lovely balance. He's made the space. Can he supply the finish? It's disappointing for him. But the referee has blown his whistle, and he's claimed that Jamie O'Sullivan came in late on the former All-Ireland winning captain, and he's giving a free to Kerry.
Yeah, I think he's giving a free, and wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if he's booking Jamie O'Sullivan as well. Well, no, he's not actually. I thought he'd taken out the notebook that time.
I think he was just noting his name in the book for a personal foul. So this is a chance for Kerry. We've had 4.5 minutes of pretty good action, going from one end to the other, including that brilliant save by Keeley. The Kerry captain takes his first point of the Munster final.
Yeah, that's a late tackle, all right, by Jamie O'Sullivan that time. As just going back to the previous one, just watch this. He tried to throw him. He tried to go for a penalty. I think Donald O'Connor tried to go for a penalty and threw himself into the large rectangle.
Michael Shields out for his Alan Quirk. Noel O'Leary. John Miskela from Ballincollig. Donncha Walsh chasing back. Good ball again to Donncha O'Connor, potential match winner. I know it's early stages, but he's won every ball ahead of Mark O'Shea. He's making an angle. O'Shea stumbles. O'Connor takes the opportunity, but he drives it wide. Second wide of the match for Cork. Cork look pretty dangerous every time the ball goes into that full forward line.
Yeah, and it looks a little bit as if the corner forward Paul Kerrigan is going out somewhat, and Daniel Goulding and Donncha O'Connor are playing in there on their own, and the ball being put into them is being put in with quality and precision, and is going out to the wings, and they're winning their runs with their markers.
Aidan Walsh and Alan O'Connor. It's O'Connor coming forward. Ball given away. Easy ball for Shane Enright from Tarbert in North Kerry. Had a wonderful league campaign. Donncha Walsh, Killian Young, Declan O'Sullivan. The star is now at the edge of the square. Anthony Marr looks up, gives it to the Kerry captain. Donaghy wanted it quickly. Nice little bit of skill from the Gooch, no free. Cork players around him. Referee says free to the All-Ireland champions. Interesting tactics by the Kingdom, though, to have the star, Kieran Donaghy, at the edge of the square. No foul here, says the referee. Here comes Patrick Kelly. Ball given away again. Enright picking up a lot of loose passes. Tom O'Sullivan comes forward. Thought about bypassing Patrick Kelly. Lays it off instead for his Brian Sheehan. The Gooch. Back to Brian Sheehan. Played well in the earlier rounds. Scoring significantly. But this is more his position. Good block down by Aidan Walsh. Sheehan again. A little bit slow to react. Touched along the ground. Free out to Cork. Interesting to see how Brian Sheehan performs if he retains that position at midfield all the way through.
What has impressed me about him, he's coming forward with great purpose on a number of occasions, but a lot of thing on Alan O'Connor to come back and defend with him.
Free to Cork. Challenged by Kieran O'Leary over the top on the Cork captain. Referee David Coldrick is having a word with Jamie O'Sullivan and Kieran O'Leary, laying down the law. Next time it will be a yellow card.
Yes, I would agree with you there that at midfield Anthony Maher seems to be having a holding role, and Sheehan is getting forward as much as he possibly can.
Noel O'Leary over towards Kieran Sheehan. Sheehan did well. Being fouled, however, by Aidan O'Mahony. Ball over first, Paul Kerrigan. Lets the ball run on. There was a touch. Linesman is adamant. That's going to be a sideline ball. Going to be taken by Daniel Goulding. Floating this one in for Aidan Walsh to connect. There is a connection, but who got it last? It's going to be a sideline ball. Rory Hickey, the linesman, indicates Cork's advantage. Alan O'Connor coming through the middle. Darren O'Sullivan, fair shoulder, rattled the big man from St. Colum's Club. He lost possession, and Kerry now have the advantage. Brian Sheehan. Aidan Walsh putting in the challenge. Running on is Tom O'Sullivan. Goulding chasing him. Ball into the middle. Kieran O'Leary comes out to gather. Fouled not by one but by two. Long ball into the star. You can see he's now at full forward. Graham Canty comes in to challenge. Canty, the captain, wins a one-on-one battle. And half of Cork, who are here this afternoon in Killarney, cheering the man from Bantu Blows. And Canty takes the hit again, but this time he loses possession. Fair shouldering, and the crowd respond to the physicality that is fair and indeed admirable to watch.
A great tackle that time by Anthony Marr. Just met him shoulder to shoulder, fairly and squarely, and knocked him back. That's wonderful stuff, as was the tackle earlier on down in the corner by Canty on Donaghy.
Good ball in first, Darren O'Sullivan. From Darren O'Sullivan to the star, and that's over the bar. Good football out of Kerry. Beautiful ball from O'Sullivan into the star. This time it was Jamie O'Sullivan was there because Graham Canty was still retreating. Brian Sheehan, Declan O'Sullivan wants it. This is O'Sullivan, hits it onto his left, turns around, gives a little fist. He knows it's over the bar. Good play, Kerry, yet again.
Well, I think the Kerry midfield may have bristled at the suggestions in the lead up to the game that they were inferior to the Cork counterparts, and over the first 10 minutes or so both Maher and Sheehan have put down a marker and they're playing outstandingly well.
10 minutes gone, All-Ireland champions have yet to score. Remember, there is a slight wind advantage to the Rebels. Brian Sheehan, the star and the Gooch. The Gooch stays back. Star flicks it on. Here's Cooper. This is first goal. No, he takes his point. Second point for Colm Cooper. Talk about the Kerry forwards. Talk about Donaghy and Gooch.
Yeah, and again, Gooch reads him so well. I know the flick on that time may not have been as precise as Donaghy would have liked it, but Cooper's instincts are just superb. Slipped onto it. I thought he might have gone for a goal, though.
You could see that Starr always lays off the ball. Gooch didn't go and tussle that particular ball, just waited for the break. Kieran Sheehan in towards Daniel Goulding. Tom O'Sullivan is there as well, as you would expect. Goulding, is this Cork's opening score? The All-Ireland champions are on the scoreboard, but it took 12 minutes of action.
Yes, and once again it's the same formula. Play the ball out to the wings, spread the Kerry full back line. Goulding that time got the accuracy right, Raider-like over the bar.
Good score by Daniel Goulding. Man of the match, of course, in the All-Ireland final. Score of 210 so far. A little bit of fouling there. Quickly taken by Patrick Kelly. Donncha O'Connor on the turn. Oh, is that going to curl? The umpires, the crowd of 43,000 signal spontaneously. When you see class, you have to give a bit of applause. Look at this for a score.
Well, that's a point for the ages. Again, the ball just pumped into the corner, into the space. O'Connor didn't even look at the post that time, slung it over his shoulder. That's an incredible score.
Tom O'Sullivan under pressure, supported by Aidan O'Mahony. Kerry counter-attack. Looking for options. O'Sullivan takes off. But good work by Paddy Kelly. He anticipated that might be the option taken. Over this side is Aidan Walsh. Young Footballer of the Year last year. Again, they're going for the corner, but this one is a poor effort by Walsh. Silent ball for Kerry. Donncha Walsh takes it quickly. There's no hanging about in Fitzgerald Stadium.
No, you've got to commend the speed and the fluency of both teams. Just magnificent.
Brian Sheehan. St Mary's, Cahersiveen. Kieran O'Leary, Dr. Crooks, and just across the road, Darren O'Sullivan, Glen Carr, he's going for it! What a cracker! This is the Munster Football Final 2011. Kerry and Cork, something very special. And what about this for an absolutely brilliant goal?
Well, he's like the bullet train that time when he took it on, just laser-like, went straight for the goals and arrow straight into the corner. Magnificent goal by Darren O'Sullivan.
Cork's cage is rattled. Paul Kerrigan knocked away by Shane Enright. Comes to Killian Young. Comes for his own Brosnan. In his 56th championship match for Kerry. In his 9th championship season. Down for his Kieran O'Leary. The star is looking for it, and it's always delivered to the big man from Tralee. Graham Canty staying goal side. Donaghy pushes him away onto the left boot. Classy. This is wonderful football. Thankfully only 15 minutes gone in the first half.
Well, it's wonderful from Kerry, and once again, just watch the goal again, but just watch the straight line that he takes. No turning around, full confidence in his own ability, bets himself, rattles the roof of the net.
Kick out by Alan Quirk. Great catch. Beautiful to watch out of Anthony Marr. Crossfield ball is aimed at the star. Kerry, a rampant. Here's O'Sullivan, goal number 2. Brilliant save by Alan Quirk. It's breathtaking football.
It's simply an exhibition by Kerry at the moment. Watch that bit of fielding by Anthony Maher. Much derided by a lot of people. And O'Sullivan rattles this time. Oh, Quirk, you've got to commend his anticipation that time. Saved Cork from a certain second goal.
Seemed to bounce off his head actually, and indeed, as you can see, I think a packet of Anodins or paracetamol is now required for the Cork goalkeeper. But it will also break up the momentum because Cork are under pressure here. This Kerry, we were talking, indeed the lads were talking in the studio about Cork midfield is very impressive, but if the ball is put into the Kerry forwards, they have 6 that can score goals and points like this.
Yeah, but they have all the complete package they Kerry have. Their fielding ball, their passing is magnificent, their support play is coming at top speed, and they're most unlucky not to have had a second goal that time. They're monopolising possession also around the middle of the field. It's an exhibition by Kerry at the moment.
Taking the 45 is Brian Sheehan. Scored 2-4 against Tipperary last year, 2-1 against Tipperary this year, including a penalty. And of course will be remembered for scoring the equaliser against Cork last year. This one is going to the left. Donaghy gets a touch, and Pádraig Cassan had to react very quickly. Alan O'Connor it was, and it comes out, and it's gone wide. There was a chance. Let's just watch this again. The ball came in here. Alan O'Connor saved it on the line. Pádraig Cassan there to your right. Just literally taken out of his grasp. And it hit a Kerryman last.
Great pressure that time by Colm Cooper. Donaghy's instincts just saw the opportunity, had his shot, most unlucky not to have found the net.
Kerry have scored 1 goal and 5 points. 1 goal and 4 from play. Alan Quirk wisely directs his kick out straight down the middle at Alan O'Connor. This will test the All-Ireland champions. Ball down towards Kieran Sheehan. Mark O'Shea, for the first time, wins a battle with Donaghy O'Connor. Kerry looked so sharp. Declan O'Sullivan, down in his own half-back line. Beautiful, balanced footballer. Seemed to get a late challenge there, but the ball continued on to the credit of the referees, allowed it to continue. Kieran O'Leary and Kieran Donaghy have possession. Difficult enough angle for the star, but that is going left and wide. 3rd wide of the match for Kerry. And to Declan O'Sullivan's credit and sportsmanship, he got up off the ground after that late challenge. Didn't hang about and look for a soft free or consultation.
Yeah, and things are going so well for Kerry at the moment that it's in their interest to keep the thing going, but they're way sharper, they're way more imaginative, and they're way more dominant in all sectors of the field.
Change of direction from Alan Quirk in terms of his kick out, just about kept in by Pierce O'Neill. Patrick Kelly, Noel O'Leary, John Miskela. Looking at options, Donnacha O'Connor comes out from full forward ahead of O'Shea. Gets it second time round, lays it off. Wasn't a good pass from O'Connor, but John Miskela was being fouled, so that's going to be a free for Cork. Daniel Goulding going to take this. Will be celebrating his 25th birthday in 3 days' time, and he'll be hoping that there's a Munster final party as well. Cork have to find their rhythm quickly. Good kick. Straight on target. Second point of the match for Daniel Goulding. Kick out by Brendan Keeley. Aidan Walsh knocking it away from Anthony Marr. Picked up here by Patrick Kelly. Back to Walsh. Kieran Sheehan taking on Aidan O'Mahony. Sheehan with that trusting left foot. Aidan O'Mahony well aware of Sheehan's capabilities, and of course being left-footed, dived on the ball but just didn't reach it. Good score by Kieran Sheehan.
Shows great strength that time in holding off Aidan O'Mahony and firing over a score. But those two scores in the last minute or so will give a lot of confidence to Cork and will get them into the game, because they have been out of it. They've been simply blitzed in the first 15 minutes or so.
Kick out goes all the way for John Miskela. Paul Kerrigan coming out from top of the left, floating this in. Brendan Keeley comes off his line. Referee says there was a Cork player inside the small rectangle, and the Cork plan could well be to test out the keeper under high ball, but he's passed that one.
Passed that one with flying honours. I think Donnacha O'Connor was claiming that time he was being fouled, but you must credit the goalkeeper with an assertive piece of goalkeeping.
Brian Sheehan. Kerry going forward, confident. To the Gooch. No overlap immediately available. Gives it to Starr. Cuts inside, tries to, goes back outside. There's a chance here. This one is going across the face of the goal and wide. That's 4 wides for Kerry and just 2 for Cork. But they have 1-5 on the score sheet.
It's interesting to look at the Cork kickouts. Early on they were trying the short one, and they did that quite a bit in the league final and during the championship last year, but they've been forced now to go long and to the wing.
Hard working Brian Sheehan tackling Alan O'Connor. There was a challenge. The referee felt it was a foul on the Corkman. Good running by Pierce O'Neill, providing that overlap. On inside is Patrick Kelly. Goes wide instead for his Aidan Walsh. Takes a little bit too much out of it. And good pressure by Kerry. And Anthony Marr, I have to say, is working very hard in the middle of the field. There he is taking the sideline ball. Fires Aidan O'Mahony. Tom O'Sullivan. Mark O'Shea will come from full back. And Kerry are playing with a swagger now. And you see O'Shea having been beaten for the first 3 or 4 balls by Donnacha O'Connor, now coming forward. Brian Sheehan. Nice ball. In for Kieran O'Leary. Starr wants it quickly. Comes out to meet him. Still O'Leary. Difficult angle. Not the right option at all.
Not the right option. That's the second wide he's kicked in the last couple of minutes. He certainly got out in front of Jamie O'Sullivan at the moment and causing him a lot of trouble, but unfortunately from a Kerry point of view his finishing is not up to par.
Needs to probably pass it a little bit more. Kick out was not outside the 20-metre line. And the crowd over the far side rather annoyed with it. Over this side is Donegal O'Connor, who's now operating around the midfield area. Down first Patrick Kelly, gets away. Paddy Kassan comes from left half back. Patrick Kelly wants to put in front, and Darren O'Sullivan is tracking back and doing rather well. As Kerry now counter-attack. Killian Young gets away from Paul Kerrigan. Aidan O'Mahony want to put in front of him. This is O'Mahony as Kerry cool matters down. Mark O'Shea. Brian Sheehan looking around to see who's up front. It's the full forward line or deep inside in front of the Cork goalposts. Good play again by Anthony Marr. Nice punted pass in towards the corner. This is aimed at Starr. Gooch will stay down. The Starr will try and knock it down. First Paddy Kassan. And Cork win back the possession. Aidan Walsh lays it off to Pierce O'Neill. And he's fouled. Let's go down to the sideline for some news now from Joanne.
Well, the Kerry sideline have been quite annoyed because one of the Cork substitutes is standing behind the Cork goal and giving Alan Quirk the ball so he can take quick kick-outs. So just watch out for that one.
Thank you very much, Joanne. This is centre half forward Patrick Kelly. And Kelly finds the range, registers his first point in the Munster final. Nice layoff. Got a nice little jink inside, made a bit of space for himself. Good score.
Well, they're nibbling away at the Kerry lead, and they're doing it very effectively and playing very calm, composed football. But you must credit both teams. Like their skill sets have been complemented by hard work all through.
Aidan O'Mahony was under pressure. The kick out wasn't a great one. It just came awkwardly to him. Kieran Sheehan judged to have been fouling the right half back. Interesting statistic there. Kerry haven't scored in over 10 minutes now. And after that blitz, it looked everything they were doing were turning into scores, or potential scores. Here's Owen Brosnan coming from centre half back. Fouling, Michael Shields. Gooch does it quickly. Look now who's full forward. Declan O'Sullivan as Kerry continue to change and alternate. And O'Sullivan gets the point. That's his second point of the game. And interesting enough, when the ball is spread out wide, that's what they're trying to do. Bring Graham Canty out of that area in front of the goalpost. Kieran Donaghy has scored twice. Declan O'Sullivan has scored once from that position.
Yeah, and Graham Canty is struggling with the pace of the game, I think, at the moment. Again, the combination of hamstring injuries he's had over the last couple of years, I think, and knee injuries have slowed him up a little bit, but he's struggling on his markers.
Kieran Donaghy now out around midfield. Aidan O'Mahony comes from left half back. Kieran O'Leary confronted by Alan O'Connor and Jamie O'Sullivan. Last touch. Cormac Riley, linesman, far side. Crossfield ball just about gets there. And a challenge by Pierce O'Neill that could well merit a yellow card for the challenge on Brian Sheehan. And David Coldrick agrees with the assessment because he's taking out the book, and this could well be the first yellow card of the afternoon.
Well, there was nothing malicious whatsoever about that foul. He just saw at the last moment that he'd been caught out of position by a wonderful crossfield ball and lunged in and gave away the free, and gives Cooper now a great opportunity to extend the lead.
Full credit and fairness to the referee, because he's allowed the physicality to develop, fair shoulders all the time. He's allowed it to play on.
And fair play to both sets of players because they're playing with great intensity.
That ball is not going to curl. Umpires well positioned. 6 wides now for Kerry.
Just to take up the point there a moment ago, Marty, not only are they playing with great intensity but great sportsmanship.
Declan O'Sullivan, as you can see, residing there with Graham Canty in front of Alan Quirk's goalposts. Surprisingly enough, Alan Quirk is going for short kickouts, and considering you have Alan O'Connor, Aidan Walsh and Pierce O'Neill, far better to drive it down the middle would seem to be the logical strategy. Here's Declan O'Sullivan getting inside. Graham Canty again, and that's another point. And it's not often I would say this, but it would appear that Graham Canty is in a spot of bother.
He's in a spot of bother, but your point is right. A lot of the problems were created by poor kickouts and by the fact that Kerry have clearly done their homework on the Cork kickouts. Cork, I think, would be far better to launch it long down the middle of the field and take their chances from there.
It's not as if they don't have the big men in the middle of the pitch. And again, it comes out this side. He's trying to find out Pierce O'Neill availability. John Miskela heard that Gooch was coming. Michael Shields, St. Finbarr's man. Walsh was waiting for it slightly, got away with it. Plenty of Kerry players around him. Paul Kerrigan, can see where he is, operating out around midfield to try and get some possession. Donnacha O'Connor now makes the run. Patrick Kelly holds on too long. Paul Kerrigan calls and gathers, gives it back to Kelly. No ground gained. Back to Kerrigan. Ball inside is an easy one for the keeper. Mark O'Shea. Donnacha Walsh. Killian Young. Gooch is behind him. The Kerry captain calls. Slips one through nicely. Donnacha Walsh. Kieran O'Leary coming through the centre. Brian Sheehan needs a little bit of support. Steps inside the challenge of Aidan Walsh. Goes back for his own Brosnan. Will it curl? Will it curl? The umpire says no. And the umpire is right.
The umpire is right. It just stayed outside the post, but the lead up to that shot at goals was just delightful to watch. The off-the-ball running, the precision passing, the awareness of each other's, where they were on the pitch. Kerry are just putting on a masterclass at the moment.
Job well done so far by Jack O'Connor. Second time Kerry manager, third season back. Kick out by Quirk. It's aimed at Kieran Sheehan. That's a wonderful catch. Into the centre. Patrick Kelly. Needs to lay it off. Finds John Miskela. Back to Alan O'Connor. This is the type of ball that was paying dividends earlier to Donnacha O'Connor. Paul Kerrigan. Connor stays outside. Good work by Paul Kerrigan. The ball has gone between the posts, but the referee's whistle clearly sounded. Cork don't like the decision, but it doesn't really matter because the referee decided that he overcarried.
Well, there was great pressure that time being exerted by Shane Wright on Paul Kerrigan, and the referee was right up at the play, and he gave what he considered to be an overcarrying offence, and he's perfectly entitled to do that. And I think Kerrigan just about had overcarried before he let off the shot, so the score is disallowed.
The referee didn't want the kick out to be taken as quick as that. There has to be the crossing of the flags along the goal line to make sure that everybody knows that that score has been disallowed. 32 minutes gone, first half. Anthony Marr. Noel O'Leary came like a steam train. Just didn't quite get the connection. Paddy Kassan, one of 4 Cork All-Stars, and he gives that ball away to Kieran Donaghy. That's a nice ball to Kieran O'Leary. O'Sullivan is available. Still O'Leary turns, and he now ensures that everybody in the full forward line have now scored. 2 points for Colm Cooper, 2 points for Kieran Donaghy, 1 point, Kieran O'Leary.
But that's always a consequence of a bad pass by Paddy Kassan.
Michael Shields. Aidan Walsh. Goes off the hand of Anthony Marr. Ball across the line. Sideline ball for Cork.
Yeah, we'd highlighted Aidan Walsh beforehand, but I must say he's struggling with the pace of the game and finding it very difficult to get the better of Anthony Maher.
Michael Shields. Ball star full back for the last 2 years, playing in the corner. First to the ball again. There's a man in a green and gold jersey. Nice ball. They're laying out a lovely ball for the Kerry forwards. Chest high into space. Good work by O'Sullivan. Still O'Sullivan takes the challenges, makes a little bit of space, runs into a wall of red and white jerseys, comes back out for his Darren O'Sullivan, and that is going wide. On this particular occasion, Declan O'Sullivan was doing superbly, but just took a little bit too much out of it. Got into a crowded area. Cork counter-attack. Score before half-time now would be important. Get as close as possible to a team performance produced by Kerry. That's an awful lot to be admired. Colm Cooper, Donegal Walsh, 27 years of age today, born centenary year, lays it off to Brian Sheehan, coming from midfield. Anthony Marr is playing more a defensive midfield role. Brian Sheehan going forward, lending assistance to an attack that hardly needs assistance with the way they're performing in the opening 35 minutes.
Yes, and the unsung hero once again, Donegal Walsh. There's an awful lot of the donkey work for that score, but Sheehan has been a revelation at midfield today. His mobility is something that you wouldn't normally associate with him, but he's putting huge pressure on the Cork midfield pair.
Kick out from Alan Quirk, comes to Alan O'Connor. Aidan Walsh, 1 minute of additional time. Seemed to take a little bit too much out of it. Pass is not a good one, and Kerry go forward. Kelly and Young chasing after another score before the break. Lovely combination between the Gooch and Declan O'Sullivan. He steadies, he shoots, he scores. It is just beautiful to watch. A Kerry forward machine that really knows how to play football. Look at this, class.
Well, I suppose we had predicated everything we had said beforehand, that if they could get the supply, the forwards, the Kerry forwards had the ability to do what they're doing at the moment. But the two people who've stood up today are Anthony Maher and Brian Sheehan. They're guaranteeing that supply that have resulted in the Kerry team putting on an absolute masterclass. I've used the word before, in the first half.
And the Cork midfield are not there, Mark.
They're not there. They seem to be off the pace completely.
As we say that, up goes Alan O'Connor, going forward. Lays it off. Chance here for Patrick Kelly. And that is going right and wide. Well, the All-Ireland champions are facing a formidable test, and you can feel and see that their cage has been rattled. A wonderful performance by Kerry. They have scored a goal and 10 points, 1-9 from play, with a cracking goal after 14 minutes by Darren O'Sullivan. Add in Declan O'Sullivan's 4 points, 2 by Cooper, 2 by the Star, 1 by O'Leary, and of course Brian Sheehan, giving a half-time score of the Battle of the Champions in sunny Killarney. It's Kerry 110, Cork 5 points. We all look forward to the analysis. It's coming your way right after the break.
On the evening edition of the Sunday Game, you can see coverage of this afternoon's Leinster hurling final, plus a full roundup of all of the big games in the championship over the weekend, and that is at 9:30. The committee room on Wednesday night is another edition of our weekly GAA magazine programme. That's at 8 o'clock, and it's here on this channel. And then looking ahead to next weekend, we have a great double header for you. It's the Leinster football final, followed by the Munster hurling final. And we'll be here with the build-up to both games from 1:15. Now, the programme also includes the next qualifier draw for the hurling championship and the next round of football qualifiers. OK, competition time here. Next on the Sunday Game, match tickets, a nice hotel, and loads of money could be heading your way.
RTE Sport have teamed up with Guinness, proud sponsor of the GAA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Championship, to give you at home the chance to win a fantastic trip to see all the action at this year's GAA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Final at Croke Park on the 4th of September. This 5-star prize includes 2 nights accommodation in a top Dublin hotel, VIP transport to and from your home, match tickets and €3,000 in spending money. For your chance to win, simply answer the following question. Which of these was the Tipperary captain in the 2010 GAA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Championship final? Was it Owen Liston, Owen Hand or Owen Kelly? To enter, call 1515 71 71 83 or text the word hurling followed by your answer and name to 57111. Viewers in the north can also text to 57111 or call the number on screen. You must be over 18 to enter. Full details are on RTE Airtel page 194. Lines will close at midday on Wednesday the 20th of July and the lucky winner will be announced that evening on the committee room on RTE2, so tune in for that.
Yeah, we'll be going back to Killarney in a moment. By the way, the official attendance at Fitzgerald Stadium this evening is 40,892. Colin O'Rourke, apart from Kerry's dominance around the middle of the field, apart from Darren O'Sullivan's wonderful goal that we saw there a moment ago, Kerry have also been picking up some excellent points, mainly to Kieran Donaghy. Declan O'Sullivan has been very prominent, obviously.
Yeah, well, there's great spread of scores. And this shows the Kerry team at its very best. Brilliant pass with the outside of his foot into Donaghy. Just turns and kicks it over the bar. And again, Canty has struggled on Donaghy, and now he's struggling on Declan O'Sullivan. And again, this skill of foot passing, beautiful passing, everybody moving. And Donaghy again holding him off. And then with his left foot, which is a skill we haven't seen too often with him in the past. And then Declan O'Sullivan, like turning his man inside out and outside in. He's done it all the time, left foot, right foot. We've seen one of the great Kerry performances of a half in the Munster final.
But what you're looking at here is, I mean, you've three of the best 5 forwards in the country: Gooch, Declan O'Sullivan and Kieran Donaghy. And on their day, they're unstoppable. And what you're looking at here is how difficult they are to mark, because Donaghy scored 2 points, one with the right, one with the left. And we're looking here at Declan O'Sullivan kicking with the left, kicking with the right. I mean, if they get a good supply of ball, these boys will punish you. And bear in mind, which is very unusual, I mean, they've kicked 8 wides. And probably the poorest forward of the 6 there is Gooch, who's very quiet so far. So that'll tell you how.
Yeah.
If Gooch wakes up, that's real trouble for Cork.
Owen Cotter is into the Cork team in place of Jamie O'Sullivan. Jamie O'Sullivan started at right full back.
Yeah, well, they could have thrown 6 names in a hat there in the back and picked out one, because he was struggling all right. And he was on Kieran O'Leary, who wasn't causing the most problems. So it's unusual, I think, to take him off.
Cotter played cornerback against Waterford and didn't have a particularly good game. I mean, look, I think it's... the decision to make would have been a brave one, and unfortunately the decision should have been to take Graham Canty off. I mean, so maybe that Coonan being loyal to the captain and being loyal to his long-serving, maybe it could come back to haunt him yet. But Cotter will improve it a little bit, but I'm just saying that it's maybe only a very stopgap measure.
Well, Cork needs somebody like Nicholas Murphy to come into the middle of the field and collect ball there. He's not listed in the first number of subs. I don't know what the problem is, but that's what the big problem for Cork is. They've changed their normal game of where they kick the ball out long, win it in the middle of the field and drive forward, to this messing around with short kick-outs, which isn't working.
Jamie O'Sullivan was on Killian O'Leary. You know, you wouldn't say Kieran O'Leary had a storming game. Kieran O'Leary was probably the poorest of the, along with Gooch, poorest of the attack. So, I mean, it's a surprising decision. I know they're in major trouble in the full back line, but it's nevertheless surprising to bring on Cotter.
But we'll see Cork coming back, because they are that type of team, and they're always better in the last 20 minutes.
You can be sure of it. Back to Killarney then for the second half of Kerry versus Cork. It's over again to Marty Morrissey and Martin Carney.
Quite a surprise, actually, that Graham Canty wasn't substituted at half-time. Jamie O'Sullivan has been taken off, and Owen Cotter, who captained the Cork Miners to Munster glory 6 years ago, he's now taking up the right corner back position. Graham Canty still seems to be at full back, keeping an eye on what would appear to be Anthony Marr. There you see it. Brian Sheehan, actually, that's with Graham Canty right now. Second half underway. Conor Coonahan puts the stopwatch on, as we do, and we look forward to the second half. Declan O'Sullivan, John Miskela operating closer to goal, and the trend continues from what we saw in the first half. He is having a fabulous match, Declan O'Sullivan, and strategically, tactically, you have to credit the team manager for Kerry. Jack O'Connor has got it right so far.
so far, and it looks as if Graham Canty is going out centre half back, and they've put Miskela back into full back, which again is quite strange.
John Miskela, that's to my knowledge from watching games, has always played as a wing back rather than a centre back, but most definitely, surprisingly enough, not a full back. And Declan O'Sullivan is at the moment playing full forward, with John Miskela staying with him. Aidan Walsh. Pierce O'Neill. Foul. There just seemed to be a hand out. David Coldrick did blow his whistle. Anthony Marr protests, but it is going to be a free. Some would say a soft free for Cork. And they need everything that's going at the moment to get back into the game.
Yes, it has amazed me how passive and how tentative they have been all day, and I think they've been authors of their own misfortune in many respects, in the sense that from the goalkeeper out, I mean, some of his kickouts have been just very difficult to fathom. When they were, had a strength in the middle of the field, they should have used more often.
Daniel Goulding takes the free, takes the opportunity to get his third point of the match. Now, what can this man do? What can he change? He's brought in Owen Cotter instead of Jamie O'Sullivan, but Conor Coonahan, above all else, knows what it takes to win 2 All-Irelands back-to-back, because he has 2 All-Irelands back in 1989 and 90, and his team are in serious trouble, and were right from the beginning, and as Martin says, very much authors of their own misfortune. Perhaps they can show the sparkle. Pierce O'Neill slipping the ball through. Chance here for Goulding. Nice turn. Good score. 4 points for the corner forward, and this is a little bit better from Cork. And remember, Cork playing against the breeze in the second half. But I want to emphasise that the wind is not a major factor, because it is a beautiful afternoon here.
Yeah, and again, that came as a consequence of direct running by Pierce O'Neill at the Kerry defence, something that in the previous round I think Limerick had a little bit of success with. Maybe Cork will try more of that in the second half, or in trying to cut into the Kerry lead.
Noel O'Leary is tying the laces, and the referee is allowing him the opportunity to do so. 28 years of age since last month. Takes his position, and he's now marking Kieran Donaghy. And the Kerry tactics of moving players around all the time has worked. And the slightly smaller Noel O'Leary is entangled with Kieran Donaghy, and there is a boot being moved towards Noel O'Leary. And Noel O'Leary has gone down, and the crowd have reacted. Now, has Cormac Riley, the linesman at this side, seen what happened, and will he inform David Coldrick? Noel O'Leary was holding on when the ball was gone, hanging on to Kieran Donaghy, and there was an exchange and there was movement of the boot. Let's just watch this again.
Yes, just after the ball goes.
After the ball goes.
Yeah, he lets his leg back, he certainly puts his foot back and stamps on Noel O'Leary.
And the referee, David Coldrick, having been informed by his fellow Meath man that this is unacceptable, and Kieran Donaghy will get a yellow card, I'm pretty sure. David Coldrick is not a man that gives out red cards willy-nilly. And while the Cork fans may protest, Kieran Donaghy rightly gets a yellow card. Noel O'Leary and Kieran Donaghy exchange words. I don't know if they're at the friendly fire or not, to be honest with you, but there was an acknowledgement.
But certainly Cork needed something to ignite their passion and get them going, and maybe that incident is something that might get it, because throughout the first half they were very passive, very tentative, and just not like what you would expect of All-Ireland champions.
Cork player down injured. I was watching the replay and keeping an eye on Noel O'Leary and Kieran Donaghy, so it's hard to see exactly who this is. Kieran Sheehan, it looks like. And don't know exactly what happened, but he looks to be in serious trouble here.
No, both of us, I think, were watching the incident with Noel O'Leary and Kieran Donaghy and maybe missed what happened down there.
Conor Coonahan has to make a switch now to his half-forward line. Fintan Gould is the player that's going to be brought in from Macroom. Son of Leo Gould, former Cork footballer and nephew of Coleman Corrigan. So Kieran Sheehan is the player that's going off, and Fintan Gould gets his chance to shine. Always disappointing and sad to see. Let's see what happened here with Kieran Sheehan. Oh, I see what happened, yes.
Oh, he damaged his knee that time.
He did damage his knee, yes.
And again, must be said, there was nothing malicious whatsoever.
Not at all.
He just got trapped.
We wish Kieran Sheehan well. Lovely lad from the Road Club in Ovens. Graham Canty released from the shackles of fullback responsibility, goes forward from centre back and wins the Rebels another fray. Now it's the turn of Donegal O'Connor to take charge of the free taking as we see Kieran Sheehan. He's only just 20 years of age. He'll be 21 in November. And hopefully that knee isn't as badly damaged as we anticipate with that nasty fall. Donegal O'Connor will be disappointed with the result as the umpire signalled wide. 4 wides for Cork in this match, which reflects on the lack of scoring power up front, and indeed the opportunities haven't been coming their way.
Yeah, I think in the first half they had only 10 scoring opportunities throughout. They just got half of those, but they certainly have not been getting the ball into the Kerry half.
Good kick out by Brendan Keeley. Certainly seems to have improved since I saw him play in the National League. Kieran Donaghy down injured. Rory Hickey, the linesman for Menace, is right there, involved. Let's see what happened here. Graham Canty and Kieran Donaghy. Alan O'Connor, Paddy Kelly coming in to challenge. 3 Cork players around him.
Yeah, I
Didn't
think
spot anything there.
Well, unless now maybe Alan O'Connor caught him maybe with the knee on the ground. I think that's maybe what caused the damage. But again, I don't think there was anything malicious about it.
Brian Sheehan now being spoken to by the referee. It looks to be a friendly enough chat.
Still think that little incident with Kieran Donaghy and Nolan Leary early on, it might be the thing that lights the torch for Cork and might get them going, because they have been strangely disinterested in engaging fully in this contest today.
Well, Kieran Donaghy on a yellow card now has to be fully aware that he can't get involved in any more incidents in any shape or form. Alan Cooper to Kieran O'Leary, well able to win a ball, and that's perfect pass towards Declan O'Sullivan. Twisted turning. Darren O'Sullivan bringing it back to the star. Kieran Donaghy's first option is to look around to see who's available. Anthony Marr, Colm Cooper. Just a little hop gets him out of trouble as the challenge came in, and a sweet ball again to Declan O'Sullivan. John Miskela, the edge of the square with him. Aidan O'Mahony could still work out well for Kerry. Have to work hard for it. Runs away knowing that the white flag is going to be raised. Donegal Walsh, happy birthday to him. Born on this day, 1984, he shows that he's a valuable member of this Kerry half-forward line. All 6 Kerry forwards have now scored. Aidan O'Mahony goes back to gather. Donegal Walsh. Undecided. Lays it back. Challenge on Shane Enright was over the top. Free is quickly taken. Brian Sheehan chasing back is Alan O'Connor. Sheehan is confident that he can score from here. It's high and it's straight between the posts. Second point for Brian Sheehan. And Kerry's performance may not be as awesome as we saw in the first half, but they have maintained such a high standard. This was Donncha Walsh battling hard against Noel O'Leary. He did really well under pressure. Aidan Walsh, Paul Kerrigan. Steps away from O'Mahony. O'Mahony doesn't give up. Still Kerrigan. Oh, Paul Kerrigan did really well. Kept cool under pressure. Knew exactly what he was doing. Made an angle. And when you look from that camera position, he had only one intention ever. And that was to score this point.
Yeah, so many of the Cork scores have been a consequence of individual brilliance rather than great teamwork, whereas the Kerry scores, if you just go back through them and look at the quality of the build-up to them, you know, it's in complete contrast to the way Cork have played.
Knocked down by Donaghy. Unexpectedly, Kerry are really doing well at midfield. Paddy Kelly. Alan O'Connor has gone forward. So too Paddy Cassav. Still O'Connor. Slips one through to Pierce O'Neill. Darren O'Sullivan rather did really well, knocking the ball out of the grasp. And in the subsequent follow-up, it's going to be a free for Cork, and there's another Cork player down injured, and he seems to be in a bit of pain as well. Let's see what happened here. That was a lovely little rob by O'Sullivan.
Great
Hefty
rob,
challenge.
Hefty challenge by, I think it was Shane Enright, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Paddy Cassav. And Paddy seems to be in trouble here following this challenge, because he immediately said to his colleagues to get help. The knee is the problem.
I think it was a clash of knees or something there. It's very painful thing to get.
Had a wonderful season last year, Paddy Cassav from Clyde Rovers. First made his appearance when Larry Tompkins and before that Billy Morgan were in charge of Cork. Debate along the sideline. No such debate for this man, who coolly, tactically, has got the formula right for the kingdom. Daniel Goulding. Should be an easy enough one. Now has scored 5 times in this match. Owen Cadigan is coming on for Cork. Paddy Cassav is the player that's going off as Cork make changes, some out of necessity. Owen Cadigan is a man who has been training with the Cork Hurlers and only got to football training last Tuesday. So it'll be interesting to see how Cadigan performs. Unfortunately for Paddy Cassav, no further role to play here. Kelly protests, but it's a free for the Kingdom. Brian Sheehan. Owen Brosnan. Tearing away. Running at the heart of this Cork defence. Bit of a scramble here. Referee wisely blows the whistle, going to give a throw ball.
But today it must be said up to now it's been a tactical triumph for Jack O'Connell.
Hard to beat Kieran Donaghy in the air. Again, the referee is going to blow the whistle. Gooch having a word there to tell everybody keep cool. Kingdom very much in control. 16 points to 9. Donaghy again knocks it down. Kerry have possession. In the middle of the scrum is the referee. But more importantly, it's Owen Cadigan. Free for Cork. Can Owen Cadigan, Douglas on the south side of Cork City make a difference to a Cork team that looks to be playing just in about first or second gear? Graham Canty, released from full back, looks far better going forward from centre half back. Down for Daniel Goulding. Good block down. Comes to Kerrigan. Throws the right leg at it and he judged it spot on. That's his second point. And Cork continue to battle, continue to chase the provincial champions. but they still have a long way to go on the scoreboard, but also in terms of time. Just about 20 minutes.
It certainly gives them hope. I think they've got the last 3 scores, 3 very good points, it must be said. But Cadigan's introduction, I think, has given them a little bit of a lift. And throughout the field, I think maybe I noticed they're trying to get each other going. For some reason, they've been huge, very, very passive today. There hasn't been any of the bite that you would have associated with, with reigning All-Ireland and league champions.
It's hard to understand that, Mark. I mean, Cork and Kerry is a different mix. Whatever about when Cork play other counties, they have that same thrust and same determination when they're playing Dublin, for instance. But Kerry, it's really, really special to them.
Yeah, and again, from their point of view, they're coming in here as All-Ireland champions. You would think they wanted to confirm their status as being the top team in the country today and add to their achievements. But I think today, Kerry, the sight of the red jersey and the amount of negative pre-match publicity they got really rankled them and provided motivation and momentum for them, and they rose to the challenge today. Certainly up to now they have risen to the challenge and have been by far the superior team.
I think we should emphasise as well, Martin, the role of Colm Cooper, because the word here in Kerry is that they really want Gooch to be an All-Ireland winning captain. He's admired by everybody here in the county, and the players have responded. His leadership on and off the field, much to be admired. But can Kerry do all of that? They have to win the provincial title first. It's a first step. Will Cork be heading towards the qualifiers? They've gone that route before successfully. Still plenty of time before all those decisions. 18 minutes to go. 6 points between the teams. And Kerry are introducing a substitute. This is Barry John Keane from Kieran O'Rahilly's, and he is replacing Kieran O'Leary. Tralee man for Killarney man. Free to be taken. Brian Sheehan lets it off. Good work by Darren O'Sullivan. Paul Kerrigan is back there. That seemed to be a soft free now, I have to admit. There was a hand in there, but just have a look. Was there a push? Yes, there was a little push.
There was a push with the right hand, and he tried to dispossess him with his left hand. And very often the referee has to make that call, and I think it was the right call in those circumstances.
Another Kerry player down injured. Conor Coonahan having a quiet word with Paul Kerrigan. Down injured is Darren O'Sullivan, who made that great dash, but fell awkwardly, obviously, with that push. It's recognised as a foul by the referee. Ger O'Keefe, remember that great Kerry team of the 70s and 80s? An astute judge of football, with former Kerry goalkeeper Diarmuid Murphy also on the bench. Colm Cooper with this free, just inside the Cork 45. Well capable of scoring from here, particularly with the wind to his back, but he puts it across the face of the goal, well wide. It's Kerry's 9th wide of the game. 16 minutes to go, Martin Carney. Can Cork change this particular game, going to go their way?
Well, of the evidence to date, no, I don't think they can. And unless they get a goal very quickly and significantly eat into the lead, I can't see them winning it. Kerry are just too much on top in too many sectors.
Alan O'Connor. Nice ball. Up fires Aidan Walsh. Coming through is Pearse O'Neill. Flicking it inside, it's Kerrigan. Takes the shoulder and is stopped on the goal line. It's almost there and cleared again with the referee's blown his whistle. The ball was touched on the ground by a defender inside the small rectangle. That's a penalty.
Definite penalty. Paul Kerrigan through that time. Great shot. It beat Brendan Keeley. I'm not sure who got back there, I can't see, but definitely the ball was handled on this goal line in the small rectangle, and it is a penalty. I think is it Mark O'Shea?
Mark O'Shea.
Yep, Mark O'Shea got back.
Good move by Cork. It's their first and only opportunity of a goal. Was flying into the net, only to be stopped on the line by Mark O'Shea.
Yes, a heroic bit of defending, but we just said a moment or two ago that Cork needed to get a goal very quickly if they were to come back into it. Maybe this is the opportunity.
15 minutes to go in the Munster final. Donncha O'Connor facing Brendan Keeley. O'Connor is good at these, and he crashes it into the net. The All-Ireland champions are back in the Munster football final. Is this the wake-up call? After 55 minutes, O'Connor's finishing impeccable, giving Brendan Keeley no chance.
Well, they were in a life support machine up to now. All of a sudden they've got the injection, and maybe now they'll drive on from here.
Aidan O'Mahony under pressure. Alan O'Connor gets away from the challenge. Chased, pursued by Fintan Gould. Bit of afters from Aidan O'Mahony, and the referee was there. Cormac Riley, the linesman, again keeping the referee informed. Almost 11 minutes since Kerry scored. Kerry going to introduce a substitute. Brian Sheehan is going off, and coming on is Micheál Quirk. Bit of a surprise.
Sheehan have been playing very well, and he's so important from long-range kicks as well, free kicks. This is a surprise to me.
Pearse O'Neill. Owen Cotter. John Miskela. Freed again from fullback duties, as Graham Canty now seems to be at the edge of the square. Free for Kerry.
We'll go back to the National League final when Cork were well done against Dublin late into the second half and just kept nibbling away, kept patient, didn't panic, and won it at the death.
But Martin, this is Kerry.
This is Kerry in Kerry's back guard.
Perhaps this is the moment for Cork to register another goal. It's Alan O'Connor who takes the point instead. And Cork are getting themselves out of trouble through sheer hard work and determination. It was O'Connor that intercepted this pass, climbed through the middle. There was just a moment there where perhaps if he continued on, he might have done better, but he still got Cork's 11 points. And now 2 points between the teams.
Yeah, but that's the first time we have seen Alan O'Connor driving into an attacking area.
40,892 people packed into Fitzgerald Stadium. And for the first time, the Rebels can give a little bit of voice and vent to their feelings. They're playing against the breeze, and the breeze just seems to have picked up in the last few moments. Not hugely or significantly, but it is slightly favouring Kerry. Ball inside for Colm Cooper. 2 Cork players around him. 3 treble marking him. Anthony Marr slips it inside to O'Mahony, not known for his goal-scoring prowess. Still there, turns around, takes a shot, and the ball is sent wide. And Cork, you can see, are beating their chests, and they're beginning to play with passion that you associate with the county that's known affectionately as Rebel County.
Yeah, they're really rising to the occasion at the moment. They're rising to the challenge that's in front of them over the remaining minutes of the game. Great pressure that time put on O'Mahony as he tried to get that score. And if you saw Cooper when he had the ball that time, he was surrounded immediately by 3 or 4 Cork players. So the inspiration has come maybe from the goal from the penalty. That has given them the lifeline. That has given them the sense of hope. But there's still a little bit of way to go.
Pearse O'Neill is the player that's winded, a bit injured. All-star footballer now, of course, was on a TV programme, Underdogs programme many years ago with Kieran Donaghy. They both kind of came through the system through there and have now, of course, established themselves. But Jack O'Connor tactically got it so right, where Conor Coonahan obviously has a huge work ethic drilled into this Cork side, and they are working themselves out of trouble. And time still in their favour. Penalty by Donncha O'Connor, crucial. Donncha Walsh lays it off to Micheál Quirk. Declan O'Sullivan takes the free quickly. Barry John Keane just misjudged him. Owen Cotter fouled subsequently. And Cork are back in business. Paul Kerrigan. Kerry player down injured. Looks like Shane Enright who pulled a hamstring. And more importantly, it's Paul Kerrigan cutting through the Kerry defence. And swinging this over the bar. 3 points for Paul Kerrigan in the first half. He really has shown a bit of bottle, a bit of leadership when Cork badly needed it. And he wasn't that far away. 1 point between the teams. Remember, Cork trailing at half-time by 8 points. It was Kerry 110, Cork 5 points. But this man from Nemo Rangers has produced the goods in the second half.
And remember, 10 minutes in the second half, they were trailing by 113 to 8 points. This has been a marvellous comeback from Cork. And Kerrigan has run straight at the Kerry defence on a number of occasions. We had said beforehand it could be a ploy that would work. It is certainly working on a tiring Kerry team.
Conor Coonan, Jim Nolan, and their opponent, Jack O'Connor. It was so right in the first half. But they are, this Kerry team, up against the All-Ireland champions. Kieran Sheehan, very much strapped up now. Dr. Con Murphy there, and the physios doing all the necessary work to make sure that Kieran Sheehan medical care is well taken care of. Cork have scored 1 goal and 7 points in this second half to Kerry's 3 points. Significant, to say the least. Shane Enright seems to be okay.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, Kerry haven't scored in the last 15 minutes.
So the momentum is with the All-Ireland champions. Shane Enright has in fact been replaced, and coming on is Daniel Bohan from the Austin Stacks Club in Tralee. So a change in the Kerry full back line. Wonderful catch in the middle of the field. Cork more concerned about getting that equaliser than the player that caught that ball magnificently but fell awkwardly. And the referee, Dave Coldrick. Let's watch this again. Wonderful catch. Alan O'Connor.
Wonderful piece of fielding by Alan O'Connor. Micheál Quirk caught him a little bit awkwardly. No malice involved in it whatsoever, but he just twisted badly as he fell.
Free to the All-Ireland champions. Micheál Quirk, substitute for Kerry at midfield. Surprisingly in our eyes, because we would have felt Brian Sheehan was doing well. Fintan Gould, Paddy Kelly, back to Fintan Gould, running at the Kerry defence again. Back outside to Aidan Walsh. Is he the man to score the equaliser? It's swinging left and wide. 5 wides for Cork. They haven't missed that many.
No, they haven't missed that many, Marty, but that was a good opportunity had he kept the move going. I think he was a little bit imprudent to actually have a go himself. There was an overlap. Had he seen it, he maybe should have exercised that.
What has changed the game in Cork's favour, Mark?
Well, I think there's been a few inspirational points by Paul Kerrigan. They have run a little bit more at the Kerry defence, but around the middle of the field, they're getting more ball.
Alan O'Connor getting there ahead of Anthony Marr. It's Marr that is fouled. Mark O'Shea thought about taking it quickly. Kerry, remember, playing with a slight wind advantage in the first half. Barry John Keane misses the ball again for the second time. Getting back there was Owen Cotter. He did well. Graham Canty. Over this side, Fintan Gould. McCroom-man, very close to the Kerry border. We want to impress. Pumps it into the space. Aidan Walsh to gather. Almost got there, but failed. Sideline ball for Kerry. Quickly taken. Donncha Walsh. Micheál Quirk. Big man and towering in the middle of the field. Needs a little bit of support. Alan O'Connor comes in to challenge. Quirk gets by, flicks it across. And Kerry go forward. Killian Young. Alan O'Connor with him. Declan O'Sullivan makes himself available. Needs to take control. Ball out first, Kieran Donaghy. Fails to get there. They could do absolutely nothing wrong in the first half. But certainly in the second, passes suddenly going astray. They have looked human in the second half. the Kingdom of Kerry. 20 minutes since Kerry last scored. Good turnover there. The Gooch, Darren O'Sullivan, touched along the ground. See what I mean?
Yes, they're tiring, and you can't underestimate the heat there. And I think the effort that Kerry put in the first half has really sapped their energy, took an awful lot out of them. As the boys said in studio at halftime, they should have been more ahead, and now they're suffering a little bit out there.
And that significant point that you made, Martin, about Cork against Dublin in the league final, it looks like at the moment that Cork have that momentum to produce it again, which is tremendous achievement if that's what happens. But they have to do it. Here's Alan O'Connor laying it off. Still Alan O'Connor. Ed Walsh is inside. Gives it chance here. Off the post. Oh, how close for Cork. My word. Goalkeeper beaten. Wonderful opportunity here. Pierce for John Miskela. Poked a toe in it. Off the post and out.
Why didn't he go for the score himself and just punch it over the bar and equalise the game? He put the ball to a player in a worse angle than himself. Miskell, in fairness, had the shot, but that was a bad miss.
James O'Donoghue is on for Darren O'Sullivan. And I think this is a factor probably we should emphasise, Martin. Kerry do seem to be a little bit tired.
Well, they're tired, but it must be emphasised again to the viewers. It is extremely humid, extremely warm out there, and their effort and the quality of their play, the imagination, the verve and the pace that they put into the game in the first half, I think has taken its toll.
Dermot Murphy advising Jack O'Connor. You'd think Kerry would win this easily, considering the first half performance. Great catch by Donncha Walsh. Kerry now hold on to that slender lead. The Kerry team without Tomas O'Shea, without Paul Galvin, without David Marr, but showing tremendous character. Referee has blown a whistle. Looks like he's going to give a throw ball here. Approaching the 68th minute, 2 to go, Martin.
2 to go, but the efforts by the Cork player over the last 10 minutes has been really commendable. They're forcing Kerry into mistakes. Their intensity is so much in contrast to what was there in the first half. They're really applying themselves like All-Ireland, like the All-Ireland champions that we would, expect to see.
Fantastic setting, really, Fitzgerald Stadium, and with 2 minutes to go, nobody is worried about traffic jams or getting home early. This is to be savoured. Vintage performance by Kerry in the first half, and you have to applaud the All-Ireland champions for working tirelessly despite playing poorly. They are very much in contention. There's a minute and a half or there to go. There'll be injury time added on. And remember at the very beginning, we did mention the word draw. Replay.
Yeah, remember 2010 they drew and in 2009 they drew. So why not have a draw again this year? Maintain the sequence.
4 out of the last 6 matches have ended in draws between Cork and Kerry. Alan O'Connor surrounded. That momentum, that force is now with the All-Ireland champions. But they have to produce at least one more score. Look where Graham Canty is. Can he be the man? Daniel Gouldy, difficult enough angle. Should be keeper's ball all the way. Lays it off this side. As Kerry take the challenge forward. It's going to be Hall Cork. Good defending. Cork ball. And full credit this time to Owen Connor. John Miskela is being taken off, and Dennis O'Sullivan is coming on. Dennis from Ballinascarthy had a wonderful league campaign. Blondie-haired lad, there he is, and he takes over from John Miskela. We are now into injury time. But Cork have to produce one more score to force this to a replay. Can Kerry hold on? Player down injured over at the far side. Looks like Paul Kerrigan. It is Paul Kerrigan. Ger O'Sullivan just in there, the Cork selector beside him.
Paul Kerrigan's at some second half, it must be said. He's really inspired those around him.
Fiacre Lynch is replacing Paul Kerrigan as they throw everything at the Kingdom. So, here it is. We've seen it so many times when Cork and Kerry meet. Will they have to do it all over again? Graham Riley felt that it was a Kerryman that got a fist to the ball. Cork protest. 5 minutes of additional time. 5 left in this Munster final. The clock ticking for the All-Ireland champions. Colm Cooper sprays the ball over to the far side. Killian Young. Good ball inside. James O'Donoghue. Micheál Quirke. Declan O'Sullivan. They will try their best now to retain possession and not give the ball away. So you won't see any silly kicking. Here's Owen Brosnan coming through the middle. Great run by Brosnan, heading towards the 13-metre line and puts it over the bar. Once the centre forward, wing forward, coming from centre half back. It's the last thing that Cork needed, and it's exactly what the doctor recommended in Kerry.
And it must be said, it's the first time we've seen Owen Brosnan foraging forward from a centre half position or from his wing back position, and didn't he time it well?
Here come Cork back. Dennis O'Sullivan. Barry John Keane, high challenge. Free to Cork. Dennis O'Sullivan and Colm Cooper continue on. The exchanges. Meanwhile, the referee has blown a whistle off camera. Cormac Riley came in quickly, the linesman, and he requires that David Coldrick is informed of exactly what happened, and that will delay even further. This is exactly what happened. Dennis O'Sullivan and Barry John Keane, and then O'Sullivan and Gooch Cooper got involved here.
Colm Cooper just holds him down. I don't think there was anything major in it. I think it's from a Kerry point of view, it suits their purpose at the moment as far as killing the game and eating into time.
Colm Cooper is protesting. The referee has obviously informed him that this is going to be a yellow card. Now taking the name of Dennis O'Sullivan. And as Martin mentioned, the clock is ticking towards that 75th minute. Yellow card for the two lads, O'Sullivan and Colm Cooper.
That has eaten up a minute and a half nearly of the time. And the verbals continue. Tension palpable in Fitzgerald Stadium. Vital kick for Daniel Goulding. Pretty sure he'll do his best to put this over the bar and allow the opportunity of an equaliser if time is sufficiently given. And that ball is driven wide. And that is a blow to the Leesiders. Yes, the blow had that gone over again, it was disappointing, and I'm convinced that the referee would have given another minute or a little bit more than that actually to allow for that incident that happened in front of us a moment ago.
Kerry supporters get behind their team. Kieran Donaghy goes up with Graham Canty. Going back, Noel O'Leary. Dennis O'Sullivan calls for it. Colm Cooper comes out to try and prevent him going forward, unchallenged. Michael Shields. As Kerry go back. And they're there in sufficient numbers to prevent Cork gaining any ground. Look where the captain is. Good play by the Kingdom. Counter-attack is now on. Aidan O'Mahony into the space. James O'Donoghue make a name for himself here. The Legion man from Killarney ensures that Kerry must be now the Munster champions for 2011. Cork gave it everything. Far better second half. Mark O'Shea intercepts and lays it back. Declan O'Sullivan, the man who scored 5 points in this match. 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and it's rather appropriate that Declan O'Sullivan has the match football after a very impressive opening half. Jack O'Connor and Conor Coonahan exchange greetings and handshakes. Look what it means to the Kerry lads to beat Cork in a Munster final. Sometimes they say the Munster Championship doesn't matter, it's all about the All-Ireland. You can't say that to a Cork man, a woman, or indeed a Kerry man or woman, because today, in front of over 40,000 people, this Munster final was something to be remembered. Full-time score in Killarney, Kerry 115, Cork 112. Stay tuned to the Sunday game. We'll be right back after the break.
Seen Ireland until you've experienced the thrill of Croke Park. Visit online at crokeparktickets.ie or find us on Facebook.
The Irish Post, the biggest selling weekly newspaper to the Irish in Britain. Keep up to date with the latest GAA, with cutting-edge reports, interviews and analysis. Whether you're into soccer, rugby, boxing or horse racing, we've got it covered. The Irish Post, first for sport, first for news and first choice for the Irish in Britain. On sale every Wednesday.
When driving near horses, there are a few rules to bear in mind. Always leave space between you and the horse. Don't rev your engine. Don't sound your horn. And always wait till you can pass wide and slow. After all, it might not just be the rules that get broken. Think, have some horse sense on the road.
You look so beautiful. Darling.
Yes, darling?
Will you?
Will I?
Will you?
Will I?
Will you really be able to get help with the cost of cavity wall insulation?
Yes. Can you give me some tissues, please? Can you tell me which is better for the environment, petrol or diesel?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my agent, and I'd particularly like to thank the Energy Saving Trust for telling me the key to good compost.